Hey guys, HW here. We're just standing outside the law courts on Macquarie Street in Sydney, and I've just got the camera facing up to Centrepoint Tower. I'm in the city today. I'm just doing a bit of freestyling. I don't really have a plan. I don't know what I'm going to film yet, but I might dart in and out of a few different streets and laneways and try to capture a few interesting scenes. Now the weather's a bit of a pain in the neck. It's got sun coming through the clouds here and there. Unfortunately, the wind swung around to the southeast and started to push these clouds in off the water. So we've got a bit of rain. So I'm going to go and have a Nectar in a minute, which you'll remember from my previous videos means I'm going to go and have a coffee. And hope by then that these clouds have passed over and the sun comes back out again. So stick around, I'll see you soon. So I've just stopped outside the, just there will do. So I've just stopped outside the law courts at a little coffee shop called Jardin St James. And there's my coffee there. Just going to have a quick walk through here. Their tables extend down underground. Now have a look at this place. It looks like the catacombs. Got to really duck my head to get in. It's like being down in the tunnels. I always find something new in Sydney walking around. I had no idea this was down here. And come out into a nice little courtyard. Like going in through the other door. So Jardin St James this is called. Let's go back through here. It's a cool little coffee joint. Back to my Nectar. Finished having my Nectar. Just walking out. I should probably pronounce that place correctly. It's and apologies to any of the French speakers out there. I'll try to pronounce it correctly. Jardin or Jardin, which means garden in French. And so there it is again there, and just those beautiful little tunnels underneath that all have little rooms off to the side where you can sit down and have a meal or have your coffee. So that was a real good find. I'm definitely going to go back there. And now we're heading on to Macquarie Street. And we're across the road from Hyde Park Barracks. And there's a look down Macquarie Street. I'll cross over the road here in a second because there's a fair few people walking down the side here. Now that cafe that I was just at was basically full of lawyers, of course, being right next to the law courts. Here's the Mint down here. Must have been the old Sydney Mint. Now these grey clouds are still overhead, so I don't think I'm going to film for too long along here. I'm going to hope for the sun to pop out shortly. So this building in here, which was formerly called the Rum Hospital, is Sydney's oldest, longest surviving building apparently. And it looks like it's pretty old. Sandstone blocks at the bottom and on the sides there. Oh, the whole thing's made of sandstone blocks by the look of it. There's the Royal Crown stuck on there. Now that I think of it, I haven't walked down Macquarie Street since I was a school kid, coming to State Parliament to watch a sitting of Parliament for school, for some school project. So, God, that was a long time ago. So as I head down Macquarie Street here, I'll just quickly film State Parliament and then I'll cut the film off there and work out where I'm going to walk to next. There's the old boar, the old pig. Oh, look at that. That was donated by Italy to Australia. The wild boar, to show friendship between the two countries, two cities, two states. On the Italian side, Florence. Looks like they're gearing up for a bit of a procession down here today for the opening of Parliament. Got the band and Scots College band. Here we go, a bit of action. Nothing happening yet. Still people arriving. I'm not going to be able to stick around for it. I had to stop here just briefly because I just spied it out of the corner of my eye. Macquarie Street, British Medical Association building, New South Wales branch. Have a look at this building, how beautiful it is. You'll have to watch this on the big screen so that you can see the knights up the top of the building that are sitting there with a shield between their legs, which is the the telltale sign of a medical association. Looks like the snake curling around the sword or the knife. Or beautiful building. And let's just turn around and just quickly sneak into the Botanic Gardens while we're here. It's what's known as the Palace Garden Gate. Yo, look at this fountain. Wow. I missed this last time I was here. I wonder if there's a plaque somewhere that can tell me what this is all about. Oh, there's King Neptune. Captain Arthur Phillip up the top. Opened up on June 1897 on behalf of Queen Victoria. Obviously Queen Victoria never came to Australia. The furthest she travelled was continental Europe, I think. This must be some sort of goddess of commerce here. I don't know which Greek god that one is. You guys would have to tell me down in the comments. There's old Cyclops. It's a nice looking fountain, this one. And agriculture positioned there. Starting to warm up. Feels like the sun's going to come out again in a minute. I hope it does. So there's a quick little sneaky little look into the Botanic Gardens, but we'll go back out again now. I'm trying to get a few laneways and stuff in today. I've just turned down Bridge Street, just off Macquarie Street. I don't know whether you can see this billboard up here, but it's actually got a scene from Bridge Street in 1890. You can see all the horse-drawn carriages, and Macquarie Street, I think up the top that we just turned off. I'll try to get closer to it as the traffic changes here. There you go, can you see it a bit better now? There's a couple of other old scenes of the city there as well. And that was the building that you saw featured in the old photo as well. So if you didn't know, Bridge Street in Sydney is where the Australian Stock Exchange is or was, or I don't actually know if it's still here or not. Obviously these days with all the electronic trading, there's there's no need for big chalkboards and stuff to change the prices and trade. So I actually don't know. We're going to walk past there, but I don't actually know if it's still there, if it still exists, or whether they've moved to a different location or what. So I'll have a look when we get down there. There's the Museum of Sydney over there. I've been there a few times. I think I saw an exhibition of Sydney's underworld and crime in that museum once, which was really quite interesting. Look at this old terrace on the corner, still standing, you know, in the centre of the city. Pretty amazing. Here we are, we're outside the stock exchange now. I don't know whether we can get in there. They've probably got it closed out the front where the boards are, because there used to always be a whole bunch of old retired senior cits who used to sit in the room and just watch the boards tick over. See if I can see in through the other window. And it's going to be hard with the reflection, but I know whether you can see the boards ticking over in there, different charts and prices. But yeah, that's pretty much where the stock exchange used to be, or still is. I don't know whether all the traders are up in that building up there. I'm not too sure. And I think what we're going to do next, we're going to get over here into some of these laneways, and I'll show you a few other interesting things around Sydney. Alright, we're just walking into Bridge Lane, where there's a famous Chinese restaurant called Mr. Wong, and also we can get into the establishment through here as well. So here's a nice place to come for dinner and drinks when you're in Sydney. Bridge Lane, Mr. Wong, and the establishment. People are actually lining up to get a lunch booking or get a lunch table already. It's a nice old building. This guy's going to run me over. He's Kid Kyoto. Some cheeky little bar in there. What have they got on the menu? Oh, here comes another truck, great. Oh yeah, they got like $14, $15 snacks to eat. I was hoping they'd be open so I could walk in there, but must be too early. The cheeky little coffee shop here, Marlowe's Way. Got the old what are those things that hold the cables? The cables wrap around them. I don't know what they're called. They're almost like a big spool that you'd have for cotton. They're using those as the tables. Yeah, the hungry hordes are still waiting up there to get into the restaurant. And let's get up this little laneway as well. So a cheeky entrance to Palmer & Co there. The Tankstream bar. That reminds me, somewhere underneath here is what's called the Tankstream, which was actually the first water source that was discovered when Sydney was colonised. It still exists, I think. I think they do tours down to the Tankstream every now and then. But yeah, somewhere underneath all this rubble and buildings, there's still a water source that runs under the city. Thank goodness we don't drink from that anymore. Sorry, I had to adjust my sunglasses there. We're just coming out onto George Street now. There you go, there's the establishment in there. Plenty of boozy night had in there back in the day for HW and for a lot of the other workers around the city. They're having a good time. I might just cut off here, and while I'm here I might as well do a quick walk through the rocks. We're down at the rocks. Let's just start off in Globe Street on what's called the Nurses Walk and just head down towards the rocks down George Street. See what we can see. Fortune of War, Sydney's oldest pub. Oh, there's a Starbucks there. Shout out to the Yanks watching you. You'll be in there getting your pumpkin lattes and stuff. Oh, discover hidden treasures. Okay. Look at these beads. Let's try to go through the beads with the camera. Oh. So everyone's smashing their Starbucks in there. Back of the Fortune of War. Oh, this is part of the Nurses Walk as well. Oh, there you go. It's telling us that there was a couple of hospitals down here back in early colonial days, and the nurses used to walk between the different hospitals, and thus the Nurses Walk. Didn't really see any hidden treasures down there though. Oh, there's Hat World in there. Hopefully you get yourself an Akubra in there. Cheeky little arcade. Oh, look out, look at this lolly store here. The British lolly shop. It was quite delightful, but don't really have the stomach for candy right now, so I'll give it a miss. Back onto the Nurses Walk. Few art galleries, opal and gem stores. do you think of this old building here? It's probably a wool store or something. You can see it's got all the platforms and the pulley systems up the top. And this one's called the Suez Canal. It's interesting. Gee, look how narrow it is down there. Should we walk down there? Yeah, go on then.
Hello, sir.
Hi. You could imagine back in colonial days, young kids running around the rocks here with no shoes on, running down that laneway, couldn't you? Now there's a public holiday in the nation's capital, Canberra, today, and also I think in Victoria and South Australia. So I bet my bottom dollar there's a few interstate visitors down at the rocks today, having a cheeky long weekend away. Or sitting there out in the cafe area, enjoying a Nectar. Oh, there's the Orient Hotel in there. Well, they were standing outside the Orient Hotel as well. I had part of my Bucks night at the Orient Hotel. We went to the races first during the day. Plenty of booze there. Had a few bets on the nags, as the Americans like to say, the ponies. And then we went and had dinner in the Orient and a few drinks, and then we kicked on after that to a few hotels and clubs in the city. I remember I had a massive headache before the event, so I didn't end up drinking that much. Let's get down this laneway. Should we? Nah, we'll go up further first and then we'll come back. See how close we're getting to the bridge as well. This is all still the rocks down here. Move out of the way of another van. Bloody delivery drivers and construction workers everywhere in the city at the moment. And it's much the same everywhere you look around the world. During COVID, they really got going with the construction projects. I don't know whether that was because, you know, as they normally do when times are tough, they get a few civil works programs going to keep the economy going, or for conspiracy nuts amongst you, does it mean something else? Does it mean that they knew what was coming and they were planning? They're planning for the return to normal, when they get to shovel the slave workers back into the office towers. I'll leave that up to your imagination. Oh yeah, I've walked through here before. You pretty much walk through here on the way to the rocks markets. which I'll just quickly turn around and show you where the rocks markets are usually located. On the weekend you can get down there and get all sorts of trinkets, even jewellery, fashion items, handicrafts, typical market fare. And it's pretty sure it's here. All the market stores basically run up the road here all the way up to the end there, just underneath the bridge. So all here they just have market stores set up, and it's quite a delight. So I might just sneak back down Playfair Street, because I quite like it up here. Gives you that old colonial feeling with all of the cobblestones and sandstone blocks. That guy back there gave us a bit of a wave. There's the back of it, or the front, or the back, whatever you want to call it, of the Sirius building that I filmed in my Bridge Two Ways video, if you want to check that out. Give you a bit of a history of that building. You can see all these old terraces here. Fairly old. The large front steps made of sandstone, turned into shops now. This one here is, it's like essential oils and stuff. Oh, I get drenched. Few candles and soaps in there. All the stall holders talking to each other, comparing their lunches. How much battery have I got left? Not much. When the battery runs out, I'll whack in another one. Oh look, Pancakes on the Rocks. Do they still exist? It's like a famous pancake chain in Australia. Oh yeah, look, they're still open up there. It's pretty cool. There's a German Munich style beer garden here. I dare say that there wouldn't have been that many around back in colonial days, but there would have been some pubs, but I don't know whether they would have been German themed. Now stick around. When I whack the battery in, I'm thinking that I might get on Sydney's light rail for the first time. It'll be my first trip on it. Have no idea where it stops. I hope it's not like some sort of express thing. Oh, look at this. Here's the Argyle. Remember having a few drinks in here during the day as well. Back in the old days. The big pub and nightclub, the Argyle. Wonder if they'll be open tonight or this afternoon. They probably will be. I've got to film this one. Look at this ye old building over here. So it's completely hand built with not many tools. Bonza Bike Tours has got their shop in there. It's pretty cool. Oh, we won't go down that laneway again. It's a cheeky coffee store there. The creperie. These old terraces along here. Look at those doors there. Remember earlier in the video when I went to that coffee shop called, oh, I gotta remember how to pronounce it now, Jardin, and I had to duck down into those tunnels. I'm 6'2", so those tunnels were pretty small. And those doorways over there don't look too tall either. So I probably have to duck down to get into those as well. Yeah, look at that. Look at these old steps over here. What I was saying before the battery ran out was look at these old stairs here. Imagine trying to climb up and down these if you're a woman in colonial days with long skirts and petticoats and probably solid heeled shoes. Would have been quite unpleasant. And let me tell you, these are quite steep, these steps as well. And here, this will give you a look at what the terrace houses used to look like back in the day. They've pretty much kept this as is. It's another small little door there. Wooden extensions on the back of the terraces. Tin fences. Unkept gardens. Yeah, they probably did a better job making vegetables back in those days. So they probably weren't unkept. But as you can see, pretty rustic, very farmyard-like. But we're talking back in the 1800s, so and then some even late 1700s. So I might switch off here as we get down those steep stairs again in Susanna Place, and restart when I jump on the tram because I'm in a hurry to get back to the car now. Here we go. This is going to be my first ride on the Sydney Light Rail. Can't believe it's taken so long to get on board this thing. Let's go for it. Here we go. Let's sit up high. A couple of guys down the alleyway there having a bit of a dart before lunchtime.
stops to Randwick via Central.
Let's set it down on the tripod. Again, this is George Street.
This stop is Wynyard, alight for Martin Place and Barangaroo. Change for trains including the airport line and ferries from Barangaroo. This stop is Wynyard. The next stop is QBB, followed by Town Hall, Chinatown, then all stops to
Martin
Randwick via
Place.
Central.
King Street. I'm going to be getting off at Town Hall. There used to be Gowings there on the corner.
This stop is QVB, alight for Darling Harbour and Pitt Street Mall. This stop is QVB. The next stop is Town Hall, followed by Chinatown, Haymarket, then all stops to Randwick via Central.
This is me, I better get ready to get off.
This stop is Town Hall, alight for Hyde Park. Change for trains, including the airport line. This stop is Town Hall.
Camera down so that I can get my bus pass out or tram pass. That was good, that saved me a bit of time. Should make it back to, oops, drop the tripod there. I should just make it back to my car in time to move it before I get stung by the ghosts, which we call the parking police. Geez, I'm quite surprised how many office workers there are around. Still plenty of people that think COVID's all over rush back to the city. I'm not so sure. I'd say, why is China still locking down millions of people if it's just a harmless virus? I wanted to have a quick look in the food court here. I used to come here all the time because it had a delicious Malaysian joint that I used to go to. Let's see if it's still here. Yes, it's still here. Yes, I've got to film this. The one I used to go to all the time was called Malacca. If you're ever in the city, it's a really cheap place to get some Asian food. It's underneath Woolworths. Yes, there it is, Malacca. That's where I used to go all the time. They still got the same dishes as well. Good stuff. Yes, they're still there. So quick detour. Shout out to Dave. Dave Malacca's still there. Get your gut ready and get down there. Smash it. Just coming into Pitt Street here. I'm going to have to shut off the camera and get on my bike, so to speak, and rush back to the car. So if you haven't already, like and subscribe. Put any comments in that if you saw anything interesting today, and watch it on your 4K TV. The video is over.